Hello everybody and welcome to Level 5. Of course, I am Level 5. On this channel, we talk about movies, TV shows, and video games and comic books. And today, I'm going to give my non-spoiler, or as little spoilers as possible, review on Daredevil Born Again. Now, I don't usually do this for TV shows, but I have really been enjoying my out of cinema experience videos when it comes to me watching a movie in the cinema, coming back and talking about it. And I thought of an idea when it comes to TV shows, so I thought maybe I'd start off said idea with talking as little spoilers as possible when it comes to Daredevil Born Again. Now, Daredevil Born Again is now done and dusted with Season 1. We had a good run. It was a solid set of episodes, so let me just dive straight in, shall we? So, when it comes to this show was gonna be 18 episodes long. They finished, and then the top dogs weren't happy with the product, and they basically told everyone to go and redo it again. And it is public information that the episodes we had are an amalgamation of the original shot footage and the new stuff. And you can kind of see that. There is, I think it's episode 5, you can so tell it's out of sync to the rest of the episodes. But that doesn't mean it's bad, though. I personally think that Daredevil Born Again is actually really good. Now, it does take its time. And I do believe a lot of people aren't going to like that because they want the Netflix Daredevil. Now, of course, the Netflix shows they did with Marvel are brutal, they're violent, they're gory, they're climactic, they're strong, and Daredevil Born Again isn't that straight away. I do believe we do have scenes that is the Netflix Daredevil. I just do believe it takes its time getting there. And I think that's okay. This is trying to tell a story after all. And I do believe that when it comes to the betrayal of Matt Murdock and Kingpin and Frank Castle and Karen and, you know, the characters that we all know and love from the Netflix shows, I do believe they feel exactly the same. It does honestly feel like we're watching a Netflix sequel. It feels like season 4 of Daredevil. One thing that people have to understand, though, is one thing that they try to do is to make it so you don't have to watch the Netflix show. There are people that don't even know that Netflix did Marvel. There are people who don't own Netflix. There are people who don't want to watch it. There are gonna be people like that. Now, to tell the absolute truth, I've never watched all of the Netflix shows. I've only ever watched Daredevil and Punisher and some of Defenders. And when it comes to Daredevil Born Again, they try to make it that you can just watch this, but also appease to the newcomers, whilst at the same time making the original fans happy as well. And I think they did a very good job at that. I think there's a nice balance between bringing the new fans, but pleasing the older fans. I think there's a nice balance there. The whole thing with the having two recordings, having two sets of episodes, and then having to make an amalgamation of the two, that is very apparent. That is the problem here. Episode 5, I do believe, is from the original shot stuff. I do believe that because it's so out there, it's so different to the rest of the show. But it works, if that makes sense. One thing I do really love about this, and I've always loved this about Matt Murdock and Daredevil live action, is they do really work well with the whole hearing thing, because obviously Daredevil is blind, Matt Murdock is a blind person, and it is well known in real life that if you lose one of your senses, the other senses get heightened. Now, it might not be as realistic, because he can hear stuff like across the street and everything. I don't know how realistic that is, but it's done a lot, and I appreciate that. I love that about this show. We do get lawyer Matt Murdock and Daredevil hero. We do get both, which of course that works well as well. This does kind of seem to ignore certain story points from the Netflix show and Punisher show. I'm not entirely sure. I might have to rewatch them. I really do love this Kingpin. I love Kingpin so much. I'm glad that he's back. This is weird for Kingpin. Because, and I'm just, this is where the minor spoiler warning, but obviously Kingpin, minor spoiler warning, Kingpin is now mayor of New York. Which obviously we see at the end of, is it Echo or Hawkeye? I think it's Echo. That he wants to be the mayor. You know, he runs for mayor. And it also, he doesn't feel like Kingpin at all. You know, he's just Wilson Fisk. But at the same time, Matt Murdock is the main character, not Daredevil. That is where this series does shine, though. Because you have two balances here. We have Wilson Fisk and we have Matt Murdock. And we have this ongoing struggle where Wilson Fisk isn't trying to be Kingpin and Matt Murdock isn't trying to be Daredevil. But things keep pushing. And things keep butting heads, things keep getting in the way, things start being problematic, and then by the end of season 1, we now have Kingpin and Daredevil, and that's one of the best things I love about this series, is yes, okay, it does take a while for this show to feel like the Netflix show, and it's the Netflixness of the show is sprinkled in. It's not, oh yeah, the first few episodes is like Disney, and then the last few episodes are Netflix, nothing like that, it's sprinkled in. For both of them. And I truly do feel that they mirror each other, and they've done it really well. Especially episode 6 and episode 9. Those two episodes, they mirror each other really well. Really well. The certain plot points here, I do feel like were a bit rushed. Obviously, I'm not going to go into grave detail, but there is, you know, a new introduced villain. I feel like he was a bit rushed, honestly. I do like what they did. I enjoyed the scenes with him in it, and I really like the climax of, you know, his storyline. Just feels a bit rushed. Does feel a bit rushed. Now, the biggest problem that Daredevil Born Again has is it exists in the MCU. That's the problem. Now, what do I mean by that? The ending of the show, which I will do in a different video, I will make a whole video about this. The ending of the show impacts New York. Season 2 will impact New York. And New York is the home to many different superheroes. And as fans of Marvel and MCU, we are sat here going, okay, but where's Spider-Man? Where's Captain America? Where's, you know, what's going to happen with Doctor Strange and his Sanctorum? Where, you know, Kate Bishop? Where's Miss Marvel? And all this sort of stuff. Like, there's, like, it affects these heroes, it affects these characters, or does it? We're not too sure. We're very confused. Another issue is Kingpin isn't a Daredevil villain by right. Copyright status claims that Kingpin's a Spider-Man villain, which he is originally. Kingpin jumps between the two. And when it comes to Kingpin, his movie rights fall under Spider-Man. Which means to use Kingpin for the Daredevil Born Again TV show, Disney and Marvel have to make a deal with Sony, because Sony own the rights to Spider-Man. Portion of the rights to Spider-Man. My apologies. And the actor, Vincent, who plays Kingpin, has even stated he's not allowed to be in movies. His character, this portrayal of Wilson Fisk / Kingpin, is TV show only. Which means we're never going to see him in a Spider-Man movie as of yet, which is annoying. But that also means he's never going to appear in movies in general. But his status as mayor in New York affects other characters. And there is small little nods, just one or two minor little connections to the MCU, which I love seeing. But again, it's hard to put this into MCU. Now, I know a lot of people are rather annoyed that certain characters didn't get a lot of time, like screen time. A lot of minor characters didn't get a lot of screen time. There's new characters got more screen time than older characters. But the reason is because obviously they're trying to tell a story. And when it comes to Frank Castle, he's getting his own special. And there's also season 2, so we're going to get more of him. Karen wasn't in this a lot. She does have a major point in the story, but she's not in it. And I feel like if they left Karen in the show, they'd have to spend more time explaining Karen and, like, you know, how she's dealing with certain, like, moments, you know, how she's affected by certain events and how she's dealing with certain events, how she's reacting to current events. When they don't want to do that, they're focusing on Matt, and they're trying to tell this story of Wilson Fisk trying to be something he's not, Matt Murdock's not being Daredevil, and then they're trying to, like, make it so they're getting to a point where now, when season 2 begins, we have the Kingpin against Daredevil. But it's not the Kingpin, it's the mayor, and it's not Daredevil, it's someone who doesn't want to be Daredevil. You know, that's what they're trying to portray, and having Karen there just doesn't work, hence why Karen's not in it a lot. This show is really good. I do believe people who go into this, watching this show, expecting it to be Netflix, you're gonna lose faith and hope and all things godlike when it comes to Daredevil. You're gonna lose it. You can't go into this show expecting it to be Netflix, because it's not Netflix. It's different to Netflix. And that's the thing, it is different. That's the point. Does it make a good continuation? Yeah. Is it the best Marvel TV show so far, MCU TV show so far? I'd put it in top 3. I'd put it in top 3 easy. It's the best thing we've had in a while. It's a nice palate cleanser for sure. I definitely enjoyed this series. I think that the storyline is really good. You can definitely tell where, you know, the amalgamation of the older recordings and the newer stuff is blended together. You can definitely tell that they had a limit to what they could do because of the time frame. It was meant to be an 18 episode season, whereas now 2 seasons of like 8 to 9 episodes. And I'm kind of glad it's 2 seasons, because that means they get to focus more time on season 2 now. And the next set of episodes, I'm hoping, are going to be what people want it to be. And, you know, like I said, they're trying to appeal to new people too, people that haven't watched the Netflix show. And I hope that this does open a doorway to some people and get them to watch the Netflix shows. You know, they're now on Disney Plus. They're now Disney Plus exclusives. So if you're watching Daredevil Born Again and you like it, hopefully then you can go into and learn how he became Daredevil type thing. That'd be really cool. And also explain Frank Castle as well, obviously, because he is in this. I haven't spoken much about that. That also deserves a video. But yeah, there you go. They're just some of my thoughts of Daredevil Born Again. Like I said, non-spoiler review. And maybe I will do a spoiler review. Not entirely sure. There's a few other things I want to do when it comes to talking about TV shows. There's a few little projects I've got going on. So let me know what you guys think of this video. What did you guys think of Daredevil Born Again? Do leave your comments down below. Of course, if you do like this video and you do like listening to me ramble on about different type of TV shows, whatever TV shows should I talk about, we've got some more interesting videos coming up soon. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss another video by me. I love you all, roar of passion, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye.